Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Horror Trans. I'm Stephanie Marie. I'm a transgender woman who talks about all things horror. Today, we're finally getting into the rest of the Halloween franchise. We're getting into the Bloomhouse trilogy. We're up to Halloween 2018. So, like I said, the timeline is convoluted because it keeps getting rebooted. This is another reboot, another retcon. So, I don't know how to make sense of the timeline. I'm just going to tell you this one acknowledges the first movie exists and then ignores everything else, literally everything else. So it's Halloween and then it's this one, the original Halloween, and then it's this one. So you have Halloween and then you have Halloween again, which is fucking confusing. Why didn't they just call this Halloween Returns? That would have made it so much fucking easier. Anyways, so basically, this movie has a Sarah Connor-esque Laurie Strode who is in a stronghold, who is preparing for Michael's return. There's a couple of podcasters who show up at the insane asylum where Michael is being held because apparently they caught him after Halloween 1 in this timeline. The police caught him and put him back in the mental institution, and he's being transported on a bus to another mental institution for some fucking unknown reason. Basically, he escapes, kills a bunch of people, and goes after Laurie and her family. And this time we have Laurie's daughter and Laurie's granddaughter. Laurie's granddaughter is the teenager, aka the final girl, and Laurie's daughter is the bitch you're rooting for to die. That's the easiest way to explain it. Michael ends up killing a bunch of people. The cops show up. He kills a bunch of cops. The replacement Dr. Loomis helps Michael escape. And then Michael kills the replacement Dr. Loomis and then shows up at Laurie's compound. And then they trap him in the basement and light the place on fire, and they escape with their lives. So that's the gist of this movie. So I've got a lot of problems with this movie. First, it's kind of sort of a remake, kind of sort of a retcon, kind of sort of a reboot. And that's bullshit. They threw away 30 years of lore for this fucking movie. So that's strike one. Laurie Strode is now all of a sudden Sarah Connor. She's proficient with a gun, and she builds traps, and she lives in this military compound, and she knows how to trap Michael, and she's going to kill Michael, and she's basically Sarah Connor. And I'm like, what the fuck, where did that come from? Again, ignoring the fact that she was his sister in one movie, where they make a jab at that in this movie, and then ignoring the fact that she died in one movie, but also came back in another movie, so it's fucking complicated. You're in it for the kills, and sadly, this movie does not have good kills. Most of them are off camera. The first kill is 25 minutes into the movie. The second kill is 40 minutes into the movie. So there's a long stretch with no kills. Just tons of fucking exposition, tons of backstory, tons of rebuilding the lore, retconning the lore because they got to establish this new timeline. Again, which is convoluted and bullshit. It's like, we have 30 years of history. Why are we doing this? It doesn't make sense. So, my recommendation for this movie is this is a fucking rent. Don't waste your time on this movie. This is not a good movie.